All right, let's take a look at now solving some two-step equations. You already know how to solve one-step equations with either addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. Let's look at putting some of those together. So for the first example, let's take something like 7x plus 5 equals 40. Now in this equation, we're still trying to solve for x to get the x by itself, but we've got two things that we need to get rid of to have that x by itself. Both the 7 times and the plus 5, they need to go in order for us to get all the way down to just x equals something. So we need to get rid of 7 times, and we need to get rid of the plus 5. The question is, which one do we need to get rid of first? So in this case, what we're trying to do is we're trying to undo this equation. We want to take everything away to get the x by itself. We're not trying to simplify it. We're trying to undo it. So because of that, we have to do the reverse of what we're used to. We have to do the reverse of the order of operations. Remember the order of operations? Our PEMDAS, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. What normally came last in the order of operations? It's usually adding and subtracting, right? Well, because we're undoing an equation, that's what we have to get rid of first. We're going to work backward, and we're going to go up in the order of operations when we're undoing or solving this equation. So we want to get rid first of the adding subtracting. This plus 5 needs to go. So let's try to get rid of plus 5 by subtracting 5. And whatever we do on one side, we also have to do on the other side of that equation, on the other side of that equal sign. So let's draw a line and let's bring down what's left. Now the plus 5 minus 5, the reason we did that is because that's just 0. They cancel out. Bye-bye. But we don't just have x left. We still have a 7x left over here. We're going to bring down our equal sign. And what's 40 minus 5? 35. So now once we've done that, we've done the first step here. Now we're down to just a regular old multiplication equation like you've seen before. This one is not as complicated. There's only one step left to do. It's really clear now that we want to just get rid of this 7 times. We need to make that go away. So to get rid of times 7, you remember what we do? We're going to divide by 7. Whatever we do to one side, we have to do to the other. 7 divided by 7 is just 1. That goes away. And now we finally have x by itself equals, and 35 divided by 7 is 5. So looking at that, we should still be able to plug it back in and make sure it works. Is 7 times 5 plus 5, 40. 7 times 5 is 35, plus 5 gives us 40. There's our mathematical way to show what we're doing on both sides of the equation and to get the solution. Let's do another one. We'll call it example 2. And how about x divided by 6 minus 2 equals negative 3. So if we have a two-step equation that looks like this, we have to ask ourselves again, what do we need to get rid of first? We know we have to get rid of a divided by 6 and a minus 2 in order for this x to be by itself. But which one needs to go first? Remind yourself it's the reverse order of operations. We always get rid of adding and subtracting first when we're trying to undo this equation. So can we get rid of the adding, subtracting? Right here it's a subtracting. We want to get rid of subtracting 2 first. What's the opposite of subtracting 2? Adding 2. And whatever I do to one side of that equal sign, I need to do it to the other. I'm going to draw a line and bring down what's left. Over here, minus 2 plus 2 went away. That was the point of that. All we have left now is this whole x divided by 6. That whole thing is going to come down. My equal sign will come down. And negative 3 plus 2 still negative 1. Gets more positive, but still negative. More towards 0. And now we just take a look at this equation. This is all we have left to deal with to be able to get that x by itself. So what do we have left to get rid of? This divided by 6. What's the opposite of dividing? It's going to be multiplying. So to get rid of dividing by 6, we're going to do the opposite and multiply by 6. Dividing by 6 times 6 goes bye-bye. Whatever I do on one side, I still have to do on the other. And now one last time, I'll just bring down what was left. All we have over here now is an x. We have our equal sign, and a negative times a positive becomes a negative 6. So we think this is our solution. We should be able to plug it back in, plug it in here, and check it to see if it's correct. What would negative 6 divided by 6 be? That would be a negative 1. Minus 2 more, does that take us down to negative 3? Yep, it does. So remember when you're looking at a two-step equation that you're going to do reverse order of operations and always undo or get rid of the adding, subtracting first.